congratulate you on your new assignment to galvanize, I guess, Ogun State for the SWAGA movement. And I would like to tell us a bit about how it has been, what your experience has been, and what is the focus.
Yeah, my brother, to God be the glory. The situation in the country, not only to a politician, but to any average person. Now, as usual, after 4 years or 8 years of any government, there must be we must usher in another government. Then, when we look at what is really happening in the Federal Republic, look at Nigeria as this geopolitical. The Northwest, the Northeast, the North Central. You're talking of the Southwest, Southeast, South. We are clamoring that the power should shift to the South. Why are we doing that? For equity purposes. We are doing that. It has never been South-North. Wherever it comes to in the North, yes, so may it be about the three geopolitical. There's something in the South, wherever it comes to within the three political. But when you now come to narrow it down in the South of the country, you look at the party. We are APC. APC as a party is controlling 5 states in the Southwest. In the South, we were not in control of any before Imo came. When Imo came under Okrocha, you can see what happened. All the skirmishes that happened before Hope Uzodinma got in there. And besides thereafter Umahi, let's say whatever it is, take it to 2 to 5. And we're talking of the South. There was none, but Edo State was there. But now Edo State is not in our kitty anymore. Before my distinguished colleague, Ayade, before Ayade camped to APC. Now we have only one. Now, we're talking of election. Election is about people. Election about where you control your territory. Do we say because Southeast has never been president, we now take the presidency to the state where we have only 2 governors? We have the percentage of votes that time was only 5%. Have we not lost that election from beginning? The same thing have we seen because of South, they produced President Jonathan. Now, Ayade is there, we have to take it there. No! If you really want to win election, as I said, about numbers. Then you now see what has happened in this compared to Southwest. Not because I'm from Southwest. No. We are talking of the South should belong to South for another 8 years. If God wishes. Now, by the time we now say, okay, in the Southwest of Nigeria, we believe must bring in our best shots. We must bring in somebody that we know, if given the circumstances, he wins that race, the ticket, we are sure some percentages that we are winning that election. That's why we put everybody down there. We narrowed it down to Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So if you look at it, now, in your mind of mine, Mr. Kenny, if they put everything down in the Southwest here, we're talking of the political class. These positions are not served a la carte. We cannot just say because you are Mr. Kennedy, you are good as a journalist, you are good as a philanthropist, you are good all around. You don't come and start begging you from your house, come and become president. Then you become a reluctant president. Because you are never prepared for it. This job requires experience. This job requires a lot of in-depth knowledge and requires a good mental state of preparedness for you to deliver as expected as a leader. That's why we said, okay, Southwest agenda, we know that we take that one first. Once we have taken the Southwest agenda that covers every Yoruba, the Yoruba land, we now say, okay, let us look at the best. That's why we zero in on Ashwaju. We know that Ashwaju, everybody knew what this man had done in the past. The man is a selfless man. There's a man that was once a senator in 91. There's a man that was supposed to be a senator back in 2003. Already had a ticket. And I was okay, now go, Solomon, come and take this ticket so as to be peace in Lagos. And many of the governors of today that doesn't want to go back to the Senate, no matter how that better performed that senator is, by the time the governor leaves as a governor, he wants to take yank that man off to go and become a senator. How many of them can give that sacrifice? How many in this country? So you can see that is the reason why there are very much underdevelopment. Because the senator that was there that was performing very well, you moved him out. And by the time you governor, you get there, you are just a neophyte. You've been a governor, they didn't give you that leverage to be a good senator. If most of them are just going there to even sleep, they don't talk. They just want to acquire that status of being a senator. So in that situation, you see all the craft, to be a senator, you need to be so well-grounded. And the problems that are happening is what everybody is aware of. Now, look at how this man, when President Obasanjo stopped for almost 6 years, his allocation from a patron sum of 600 million monthly, rising to 2.5 billion in first year, second year go to 5 billion monthly. You see where it is today, getting to almost 30, 40 billion. You can see growth. Look at how many people this man have raised in terms of vice presidency, in terms of the senators, governors, House of Rep members, every home he has touched. Now, if we are talking about, look at who is that person that has that reach across 36 states and Federal Capital Territory in Yoruba land. So, we just must be able to work as one in order to get there. If we are talking of the attributes, we're talking of the personalities, we're talking of the depth of Ashwaju. So you can see this is a man. When they said that he was to be the vice president to President Muhammad Buhari, look at the man that was able to nominate graciously a person that knows that is competent and can deliver. How many of our people will not say, okay, then if it's not me, it's not let us scatter everything. So all these things we need to look at. Look at his temperament. This is a federal man. This is a man, this is a national figure. So that's why we zoomed in on Ashwaju. By the time we started, my brother, many people that we called to join the wagon, including present governors, all of them cannot bring their head out. They were afraid. afraid. Because a time has come in life, you must stand to be counted. To God be the glory. I'm a senator today. If by this title, by the responsibilities bestowed in that office, you cannot be able to speak the truth, you do not want to be associated. That is why we started calling ourselves initially we said, okay, let us do it at the federal level, that is the National Assembly. We would have been to the National Assembly as senators and House of Rep members. We put pen to paper, drawing names and names. We call people that were interested here, people that were so afraid. But to God the glory be the glory. See what it is today. Everybody is campaigning to come into SWAGA. And may God bless Governor Sanwo-Olu with what he did for us in Lagos State.
How so?
You see, you can see on the day of the launching. He shut down Lagos for Ashwaji. See his commissioners, see himself, his deputy, his chief of staff, his principal officers. All the 20 local government and 36 LCDA, they were physically present. In Ogun State, I thank my governor, Governor Abiodun, for the support he gave. There are states that where the governors did not do anything. But I thank my governor for being there for us. The same thing I would say of Governor Kredo, of Gbenga, and Osun State Governor. They did their best. You know, we don't have a governor in your state. But the people of Oyo State, yes, wonderfully, the launching in Ogun State was another thing. We changed the game. We changed the game. I'm proud to say that. The National Working Committee is being led by Senator Dayo Adeyeye. Adeyeye been former Minister of Works, Minister of State for Works of Federal Republic, a spokesperson for Nadeco, Afenifere, in the 30s, and a senator of the Federal Republic. He has seen it all. That's kind of caliber of people. I can tell you the reason why we must have gone to nothing less than 150 palaces, people of influence, our leaders in the Southwest, entire Southwest, including the urbanized areas. We went with Kano, in those states. We have been everywhere. I'm about to say, we must have visited nothing less than 500 to 600 people. Met with almost 500 others. All over. And with this, Akwa Ibom, I've started in SWAGA like Akwasa. The same thing in Kogi now. I'm sure you heard what they said in Kano State last Friday. All members of the State Assembly in Kano State declared for Ashwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The same thing is happening in Delta, in Edo. All of them will be with their name, their own acronym, support SWAGA. Kwara, the same thing, their names, Kwara, support SWAGA. Why? Because we have done our due diligences. Because we have shown temperament that will aid the success of our principal. As I said, except Ashwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu says it's not going, it is them who can bring another Yoruba man in the Southwest. As of today, we've seen him as the most qualified. So, without sentiments being put into it, we are looking at weighing measures. We are looking at what can, because one is to go to the election, it's easy, but the other one is to win the election. We must be able to bring a material out that will be able to win election. We must be able to bring material out that will be able to satisfy the yearnings of Nigerians. You must be able to bring a material out that will have good deliverables. That is why we are passionate about SWAGA, that is, to come to Southwest, and passionate to bring our best person out in the present time.
What if he says he's not interested, sir? What is your plan?
You see, a good question. I mentioned it now. Unless at the end of the day, he says, please, I'm not interested. Then we start looking other ways, but must come from the Southwest. We are not militant on this. We are fighting the cause of Yoruba land. Ile Karo Jire. We are fighting the cause that must be a Southwest person. But in the league of those people that qualify, the most qualified must be projected. You can see that we are doing a good job, balancing job. So I can say this without being immodest. By God's grace, Ashwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu will yield to our yearnings for him to come out. By God will touch his heart. Because not only him, but for the posterity of Yoruba land and the Federal Republic of Nigeria advancement. That's it.
In the last few days, we've seen a lot of Yoruba leaders going to also meeting and to have discussions with him, and I'm wondering what does that say about actually.
You see, only on my meeting, no matter what be the differences between us, God gave us one thing in Yoruba land, which we have seen that has been our albatross in the past. One in is taking Johnny Lemiji. We have suffered that during Chief Obafemi Awolowo's time. We have suffered that during Moshood Abiola's time. And I believe we don't want to fall into the same pitfall. So that's why very much important for us to come together. Very much important for us. Now look at the guy that went out for 3 months just on knee surgery. It is only in our climb here that we see knee surgery as a bigger disease than even death. A knee surgery is required by any man after the ages of 50, 60. The arthritis gets there. It's not as a disease that has gone for several, from the beginning of the world, beginning of the earth. Human creation. Now, if for Ashwaju to have gone for 3 months and you are rumoring his death because of knee surgery, does knee surgery means death sentence? Now, people when they are with joy that despite being rumored to have died, they have done this. It's, we are living in a communal life in Yoruba land and very familiar ways of life we are patterned. Our Babas, they have always been there. They have been there. Baba Fashionati, Baba Yuadebanjo, and our Professor Olaji Akiyemi. You can see a lot of people to wish him well. In this part of the world, if you are ill by one way or the other, it's for people to see you, to wish you a good recovery. It's for people to really empathize and be able to stand with you on that your low time. Now what they are doing is fantastic, and I got to bless their homes. Not only that, you can see the chairman of our party, Governor Buni, was there last Friday. And many other people have been going and coming here and there from the north, from the east. Kenamani has been there. Ayofayoshe has been there. Both the AP. This is not a party issue. That's our relationship. That's how our relationship is built in this part of the world. And I can only wish Ashwaju more vigorous years. God strengthened him, bless him, and keep him for us in the mighty name of Jesus Christ.
Amen. As a candidate, what's the strength of Ashwaju?
I'm talking as a candidate, which God will make him to be, we pray. His strength is phenomenal. I mean, the one that comes to memory now, you can see what happened in 1993 with Hope 93 Abiola. You can see how phenomenal Abiola was then. This is going to be another reincarnation. Tell me, in the 774 wards of the Federal Republic, where Ashwaju's name is not in their heart. Tell me the 36 states and federal capital territory, where Ashwaju is not a symbol. The same thing happened with President Muhammad Buhari. You can see what we are. I mean, imagine President Buhari came in, he contested 3 times. At the 4th time when Ashwaju collaborated with him, what happened? He became the president. That's a combination of forces, combination of interest groups, collaboration of everything. It is what we see in Ashwaju Bola Tinubu. He has really built bridges and been doing that for several years. I'm sure you must have read about this incident when he was in the Senate. Even why we have to drop his own ambition to become Senate president for MKO to become the president. We've been saying all the things he has left, he has dropped on his personal something to make sure another person gets it. That is what we are talking about, Mr. Kendi. And I believe that with all the bridges he has built over years, this is a payback time for him. And God will give him the strength.
Well, how do you take those who are also saying that it's not a time for Southwest yet?
If anybody's not going to answer, which places are they mentioning?
They're saying even the North itself, and they're not holistic, that they can, there's not central, not.
Power has always been rotated south and west. Sorry, south and north. Wherever it goes in the north, among the 3, Not. And wherever it comes, now that's why I said to you, if it comes to South, which place in the three geopolitical in the South? To win election is a game of numbers. Do we take it to where we have only one governor? Where we don't have good footing? Or do we take it to where we have only 2 states? 2 states we are winning now. We only won one by election. The governor decamped. We did not win that place. And one governor and governors only 1 vote. We can only count on Governor Uzodinma. So whereas here, where we have 5 states clear, my brother, what do you expect? Do we say because we wanted it to come to the South, we will take it to where there is no enough vote for us to win that election? It's not the sympathy thing, no. It's built on people, it's built on what you have, it's built on strength. That is where we are in the present time. So that's why we first said Southwest Agenda, SWAGA 23.
But how come other candidates are not coming out?
You know, as I said to you, you cannot come to Mr. Shekende and come and the president of Nigeria. If they want to come to the field. Let people mirror you, let people judge you, let people screen you, let people show you antecedent. You see, there are a lot of things we want to show in this case. You want to go to election in 2023, and today is October 25th, 2021, and you want to run an election, you have not made up your mind to come out to the ring. Is that the way it works? This thing is not SWAGA cards. Not a pick and choose. You need to have prepared your mind. You need to have prepared your soul. You need to have done your work. You need to have done a lot of things. That's what we are talking about. It is past. We don't want unprepared president. No. If the person want to contest has not come out today, want to go, whose fault? That's the way it is, my brother.
How do you also take the fact that there will be other candidates from even your party coming out, and also candidates from other parties like the PDP coming out for the same?
You see, I may not be able to talk of PDP because they must fill the candidate. But in the Southwest here, in my party, that's what we are saying. If there's anybody that's interested, let the person come out. If both of us go to the same market to go and buy clothes, the one I like will not be the one you like. So by the time we get home, everybody knows the quality of clothes we bought. We can say the clothes we have in the present time that's highly marketable is Ashwaji Bola Tinubu. Let other person bring some clothes out. That's how it is. We are, after all, is one man, one vote. And let us look at it like that. Everywhere we needed to go, we have done that. As of today, SWAGA is in every home. Even the northerners have adopted it. The same thing in the east. And I can tell you, my brother, there are many other pressure groups coming up galvanizing for Ashwaju. May God be with them. They are doing their way, they are doing their best as well. At the end of the day, we are working towards the same goal. But I am in SWAGA. So I'm the one to market my product. As I'm marketing the product, maybe the same thing. If I go on NTA marketing my own, you go on channel marketing your own. But the same thing you are marketing, you see, most times if you go to you're a media man, to media buying,
Yeah.
I can buy on OGBC. I can buy Nekiti Broadcasting Corporation. And another advertising company go and buy for me in Kaduna. Isn't it?
Yeah.
It depends on where you want to do your marketing. So my brother, at the end of the day, is that product to gain the ground. And by God's grace, I assure you Bola Ahmed Tinubu's candidacy is gaining ground. Have you seen anybody again that want to be a president as prominent as Ashuaju's candidacy in the present time? To God be the glory.
So what did it take for you to accept to be part of the SWAGA? Because I know you are a very disciplined and principled.
Let me say this. In all this thing we are doing, no one kobo from Ashuaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. No one kobo from anybody. I'm bold to say that. We principal actors contributed our own money, our own sweat, since we started last year to this struggle. I'm bold to say that. To everywhere we went, to our team, to inaugurations, to everything, to all the paraphernalia, everything, media shows, by God's grace, we bankrolled it. To come into the fold is very easy. Have the spirit that this thing must come to Southwest. That what we are marking is we are the mass Southwest agenda. Have the spirit to be part of that Southwest first. Be disciplined. Be a person of impeccable character. Be humble with yourself. No arrogance. Have the conviction that what you are marketing is a product. You know, if you don't have a conviction, there's no how best to market anything. You must have a conviction that you are marketing the best product. Be able to defend it. And beyond all, you have to be an Omoluabi. No thuggery, no act of violence, nothing. We want you to be in the true spirit of an Omoluabi. I haven't done all those, my brother. I know we have satisfied one thing. Diligence. That is just that. So coming out for everybody's embrace to come. Are you talking about, look at Ogun State or the other state? We have presence in polling units now. In every ward, they have their meetings every Sundays. In every senatorial, they have their officers. So all those things, this thing SWAGA is not limited to APC and APC. It's not limited to anything. In any party you belong to, just believe in the philosophy of SWAGA. There are many people we have met, we have visited, they are not politicians. All the likes of Falaye, Baba Fatiroti, Ayo Adebanjo, everybody know Fulata's relationship. I mean, we have been to Otumba, even before he joined the APC, we have been to Otumba Gbenga Daniel, we have been to Oni, we have been to Alafin, we have been to Olubadan, we have been to Alake, we have been to Akaribo, we have been monitoring in Badagry, we have been to Aladesomi, we are talking about Deji of Akure, we are talking to all these others everywhere. My brother, you needed to be there to hear the prayers, to hear good things about Ashuaju, their interest. The kings they are not politicians, but they are bringing them who they know can better the lots of the Federal Republic as our candidate in Yoruba land.
When you went into politics several years back, Many didn't know that you were going to stay this long in politics. But somehow you've been able to weather the storms. And I'm wondering, looking back, how has it been for you?
You see,
How many years? Now?
my friend, my late brother, my wonderful brother, Otumba Dipodina, virtually drafted me into the life of a politician.
Okay.
He drove me there. When I was in university, I was the population officer of University of Benin. I was for many years a member of the Student Representative Council. Well, I was at the time a speaker before I later became the public secretary in my final year. It's been activism has been part of me. But by the time I left school, I went to go to my greener pastures, do my career here and there. Otumba Dipon was contesting. Then, as brothers to ourselves, then we started, and occasion arose that we had to field candidates for senatorial, which most of you, one of the interviews I must have said it. Then, he discussed with me about having to stand in so we can take control of Ogun Central. So God be the glory, I did that in 2006 and I won my primaries. But with the persuasion of our father, Aremolusegun Oshoba, December 26, 2006, he called the meeting. That time, Dipo had become the candidate for the gubernatorial. That as a sacrifice to bring everybody on board, another side must give them something to show togetherness. And he said he wanted the Senate from my ticket. As a father, I gave it to him. He said that's what he wanted, that can bring peace, harmony, togetherness in the party. Which I did voluntarily with his persuasions. From there on, it's been roller coaster. Politics is ups and downs. Yes, we have seen the situation where we went to election. My election was on the tabloid as Obadara defeated Obasanjo on that day. That was April 9, 2011, when I became a senator. So with all this, we started, that was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So to God be the glory, when in the Senate, I was in the ECOWAS Parliament representing Nigeria for 4 years. When I was in the Senate, at the same time, ECOWAS Parliament for 4 years, I was in the United Nations representing ECOWAS simultaneously for that 4 years. And that has really exposed me a lot into what it is to be a politician. The peak career of any politician is to be United Nations, where you have the ability to stand up at the world stage to address the world. At the United Nations, even the representatives of the continents are even called before calling the Senate, before calling the nations. At the United Nations, the continents sit around at the base, whereas the head of the states, they sit on the row. That shows the kind of respect, the regards you have, the exposure. So if God has really blessed me up to that, who am I to say I thank God? To continue to thank God for the exposure. It's not most times not how long, but how well God has endowed you. And I thank God for that. That has taken me for 4 years going around the 15 West African states, quarterly to hear briefings from the president, from their minister of external affairs, and their compilation to go and present at the UN. And I thank God that all those times the safety in the air was always in the air. All those going and coming. It has really exposed me. That was one of the reasons why I dedicated myself into serving my people meritoriously. It's on record today. Go to Ogun Central to know who their senators have been and their performances. I left Senate 6 years ago, 2015. And my responsibility has not dwindled, nor my recognition. It has been leaping bounds because I do not leave my people. As I was building schools, facilitating the construction of schools, toilets with amenities, you're talking of furniture, you're talking of having to, health centers, you're talking of having community halls, you're talking of their street lights, putting lights there for them, solar. You're talking about upgrading their roads. You're talking about effectively bringing succor to the needs. Infrastructural development, empowerment. Would I be modest? I still count myself to be the best as of today, with 133 very viable projects everywhere in Central. And I believe as a journalist, you have your ears to the ground. You can do your due diligence to verify all this.
Will you say that in the efforts that we're putting to make SWAGA work collectively, that Ogun State is for SWAGA?
By God's grace, I will say this to you. Ogun State is prepared for SWAGA. Ogun State is prepared for SWAGA in the sense that when SWAGA was launched March 13 at the conference hotel, you needed to see the crowd. You needed to see people from every local government. You needed to see their enthusiasm. You needed to see their interest and involvement, even till this very present time. To let you know, by the time we opened the WhatsApp platform, the WhatsApp platform will only take 257. Within 3 hours, we exhausted platform 1, 2, 3. We had to migrate to Telegraph. And within 5 hours, Telegraph was having almost 7,000. That's Ogun Central. As of today, in Ogun Central alone, the people on our platforms, they are more than 12,000. And politics, what is the percentage of politicians? We are not up to 10%. One combat as a politician have minimum of 5 followers. That's how it is. If you are convinced to have one, as an evangelist, you know that there are 5 people around you. You have mother, you have father. If I thought you don't have, you have wife, you have brothers, you have sisters, and you know the kind of communal life we live in Yoruba land, even politically, everywhere. I can tell you today, SWAGA in Ogun State went about 2-3 million. Look how it happened in Lagos State. So it is like that. So people, they are prepared, they are ready, and they're swagalicious. I can tell you by God's grace. No acrimony, nothing. What matters most is Southwest interest. So that is just that.